Welcome to This Explainer. Today, we're uncovering the hidden chapters of resilience and absolute brilliance that literally built this nation. We often think we know the story of America, right? But the reality is that some of the most profound chapters just filled to the brim with unbelievable emotional strength and unbreakable spirit, well, they've been left out of the spotlight.
We hear this powerful truth all the time. Black history is American history. And it's a profound statement. Yet, too often, the textbooks only give us a tiny fraction of the story. So we're going to dive right into the courageous acts and the incredibly resilient communities that history books frequently leave in the shadows. We aren't just looking at dates and names today, we're looking at the very heartbeat of American perseverance.
So our mission today is all about reclaiming these hidden chapters. We're going to look right past the standard simplified narrative to highlight the African-American figures who faced immense systemic erasure, yet somehow, against all odds, left an unbreakable legacy. These are the unsung architects who laid the foundations of the world we walk in today.
Section 1. Sparks of Defiance, Standing Up to Systemic Giants.
Okay, I want you to picture this. It's March 2nd, 1955, in Montgomery, Alabama. A 15-year-old girl boards a city bus after school. When she's ordered to give up her seat to a white passenger, she flat out refuses, simply stating, "I paid my fare and I'm not moving." That teenager was Claudette Colvin. She was arrested and dragged off that bus. Which really begs the question, why don't we hear her name more often? Well, the heartbreaking reality is that civil rights leaders at the time felt her youth and the fact that she was pregnant made her a less ideal symbol for the movement. Her story was intentionally hidden.
And this brilliantly illustrates her profound resilience. Claudette actually took her courageous stand 9 full months before Rosa Parks took hers. A 15-year-old girl, terrified but totally unyielding, acted as the true spark that lit the fire for the massive Montgomery bus boycott. Her emotional strength in that terrifying moment literally changed the course of history, even if history forgot to thank her.
Moving from that single spark to a roaring flame, ask yourself this: who actually organized the largest peaceful gathering in American history? I mean, imagine the monumental, almost impossible task of putting together the 1963 March on Washington. This is the exact event where Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. delivered his iconic "I Have a Dream" speech. Who built the stage? Who mapped the routes?
We're talking about a staggering 250,000 people. Bringing together 250,000 people was a logistical miracle, and it was managed by one brilliant mind, Bayard Rustin. He was an absolute master strategist. He planned every single detail, trained the marshals, and successfully brought all those people together in an era way before cell phones or the internet.
But here's the catch. Rustin was pushed to the shadows. He was an openly gay black man with prior communist ties. Leaders within his own movement feared his identity would be weaponized against them, so they marginalized him. Yet, despite being sidelined like that, Rustin's deep emotional discipline and his unwavering commitment to nonviolence formed the unbreakable backbone of that historic day. He clearly didn't need the spotlight to change the world.
Section 2. Illuminating the Path. Excellence that shaped the modern world.
Now, let's shift gears from the resilience of social activism to the staggering resilience of Black innovators who quite literally shaped the infrastructure of modern America. Think about the stark contrast between Thomas Edison and Lewis Howard Latimer. Edison gets all the fame for the idea of the light bulb, right? But it was Lewis Howard Latimer who actually made the light bulb a practical reality. And the emotional core of this story is just incredible. Latimer was born in 1848 to formerly enslaved parents. From those beginnings, he rose to become a defining architect of the modern age.
Latimer's drive was just unstoppable, and it completely changed our infrastructure. In 1881, he patented an improved carbon filament. See, Edison's bulb burned out in minutes, but Latimer's allowed bulbs to burn for hours, making them truly useful. Not only that, he actually drew the blueprints for Alexander Graham Bell's telephone, and he personally supervised electric light installations in major cities. Latimer brought safe, affordable lighting to homes across America. He literally brought us out of the dark.
And heading out from the glowing cities to the rugged American West, did you know that an estimated 1 in 4 cowboys who shaped that brutal, demanding frontier were Black? We're talking about legendary, resilient figures like Nat Love, famously known as Deadwood Dick. The iconic American cowboy, this ultimate symbol of rugged independence, was, in a massive way, a Black pioneer.
Then there's Rebecca Lee Crumpler,
Talk about completely unmatched perseverance. Consider the year 1864, right in the absolute middle of the American Civil War. She became the first black woman to earn a U.S. medical degree. Decades before the Civil Rights Movement, she was out there shattering barriers, treating thousands of patients, and she even wrote one of the very first African-American medical books. Her resilience is simply breathtaking.
Section 3. Rising from Ashes. The Enduring Testament of Black Wall Street.
We need to pause for a second to face a deeply emotional, harrowing chapter from 1921 in Tulsa, Oklahoma. We're focusing on a wealthy, fiercely independent community in Greenwood. This place was a thriving hub. Doctors, lawyers, families, entrepreneurs. They built this incredible oasis of black excellence. And then, in just 24 horrifying hours, a white mob destroyed it all. Planes literally dropped bombs on American soil, burning homes and businesses straight to the ground. Hundreds were killed, thousands were left utterly homeless, and to add insult to this unimaginable injury, the massacre was intentionally covered up by history for decades.
But Greenwood's story isn't just about destruction. Not at all. It stands today as an awe-inspiring testament to an unyielding spirit. It reminds us of their phenomenal achievement, their capacity to build greatness, and their deep emotional resilience in the face of absolute, targeted devastation. We absolutely must remember both the tragedy and the triumph of their existence.
Section 4. The Unbreakable American Fabric. Resilience as an Everyday Thread.
Look, all these stories, from Claudette's terrifying defiance on a bus, to Rustin's quiet strategic genius, to Latimer's innovations, all the way to Greenwood's tragic but enduring legacy, they prove that this unbreakable spirit is fundamentally woven right into the fabric of America. Black history isn't just something confined to the month of February, guys. It is our everyday shared history. We have to continuously uncover these suppressed voices, teach the full story of this brilliant resistance, and celebrate these complete truths. Because when we actually know the full story, we finally have the tools to build a much better, much more honest future.
So, I'm going to leave you with this final, vital thought. Now that you know the hidden emotional resilience and the brilliant minds behind the true American narrative, the responsibility shifts to you. How are you going to help share these stories? How will you keep these truths alive and carry this unbreakable resilience forward in your own life? Thank you so much for joining me for this explainer. Keep learning, keep sharing, and I'll catch you next time.